So we are back. The NFL kicks off. The training camps kicked off this week, and I think we're a few days away from our first game. The Hall of Fame game's coming up, I think, this weekend, correct? Or Friday or something like that, or Saturday?
So in 39 days until...
First kickoff, right?
That's
Or opening day Thursday night. Lions, Chiefs.
Yeah.
We training camp has begun, so we can go around. Anything you've heard about anything, your team, whatever. So, anybody want to start? Doesn't matter to me. I mean, whatever you want to do, bring it up.
You start. You're the football guy.
I don't know much. No, we talked earlier. It looks like Russell Wilson has lost some weight. He's in best shape of his career, supposedly. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes with Sean Payton. I'm sure they'll get through this. His gaffe of talking about our coaches, but I think that team they did underachieve last year. They are better than they have two really good receivers there. The tight end is going to be a sleeper fantasy guy this year. Mark that down.
Who?
Greg Dulcek, whatever his name is. In his last 8 games last year, he was one of the top tight ends. Him and actually Cole Kmet were. But he came on at the end because he was out with a hamstring to start the. I think that's his name. I have to look up Denver tight ends. I'll tell you
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Greg There's another guy, but he was great when he came back.
Wasn't Noah Fant?
No, he was good last year though.
Yeah, he was.
Was it with Jacksonville?
Seattle.
Who was the Jacksonville guy that came? Oh, Evan Ingram.
Right.
Had a very nice year for them. Yeah.
It won't be Darnell, right? Because he's been working out. We're doing the.
That's that cracks me up because the story was but he had to get under 320 anyway.
Right.
And he just came in at 316, so it wasn't like it actually worked out fine because who knows if we'd lost weight with the lineman workout. Who knows? But they say he's been having a good camp too. But yeah, other things I've heard, it looks like Calvin Ridley looks everything that people. I think he's going to be a top 5 receiver, Calvin Ridley, this year.
Oh yeah,
I really believe so. He's just a different animal. And Trevor Lawrence, I saw him interviewed, and just a different feel with him on the field. He just plays every play he's 150% all over the field. So he's very in tune. And I did hear Trent Richardson is looking okay, but it looks like Gardner Minshew might start the year for them in Indianapolis.
Probably the best thing.
I'm a big proponent of starting the rookie anyway. It depends how you're built.
Right.
Do you think you can win are you a Super Bowl team?
No.
If you start
Gardner?
Because you need some of the, almost like a Jimmy G, a guy, you got a team, we can get there, we just need someone to guide us. And I think they're at the point where they don't need someone to guide them. But I mean, if he's that far underdeveloped in the game, then yeah, maybe you have to. But I don't know. I did like the pick. He's a big kid. I mean, we'll see. I mean, already in Carolina, he's been named a starter. And day one, they gave him the ball. He's a starter. The kid from Alabama, Bryce Young. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the number 2 pick, the other quarterback? Where did he go?
A.J. Stroud.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud went to Houston. I don't know if he's been named. I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't heard anything.
Paid him a ton of money, though.
Yeah, he may be the starter. Because, Davis Mills, though, had a good year last year. So it's going to be a different weird thing down there. I don't know. But that's all that I can think of right now. Anything from I'm trying to think. What was the other thing I heard? I don't know. Have you heard anything?
Well,
I saw Amon St. Brown had a great catch the other day. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty neat little catch over his shoulder. But that's all I saw with the Lions so far.
I heard when C.J. Stroud got down to Houston, they give him this book, Don't Do What Deshaun Did.
Yeah. Anything else here from Lions? The Lions? Any Lions stuff at all?
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
They were our favorite guy.
Yes.
They were talking about Penny Sewell, and he was just making comments about Hutchinson and how much of stronger he is this year. And he says he's coming the same weight, but he looks like a taller, leaner Bosa brother. And that's a good comparison.
That poor kid. He's gonna fail miserably.
Who's that?
Aiden Hutchinson.
I saw this the other day, and
his sister's hotter and his mom's hotter now.
Yeah. They
their dad's hair's falling out because he's chasing people around with a hatchet.
I saw something there was a list on CBS Sportsline. I mean, it's some writer wrote it, but the top players, I think it was offense, defense, but under the age of 25 or 24, and I think the Lions had Hutchinson. 2 guys made the list.
I think it's 88 of the top 100 players he is, or something like that.
Yeah, but this was under 25, and it was the defensive tackle they have, the Lions, and then the Hutchinson. So if that pans out, their defensive line is going to be pretty good. Although it's a shame Who got hurt last week for them?
Oh, the kid,
The safety.
yeah,
But it
Sean Gardner.
he must have been
or-
okay, right? Did anything come about C.J. Stroud Gardner, whatever his name was? Not C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud Gardner. I made a whole new name.
Sauce
But
Gardner?
the guy they got from the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't hear what happened, but I know got hurt.
Yeah. Jameson Williams is returning to practice. Well, today.
Yeah, he can practice until the first season starts. He has
He's
to
still got
leave.
6 games off, right?
He has to leave the first day practice. Once the regular season starts, he has to leave.
Right.
Which is the Monday before the Thursday game, I think.
C.J. Gardner Johnson.
Yes, that's his name. C.J. Stroud Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
Sauce.
Yeah. Chiefs receiver retired suddenly. John Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Ross.
John Ross,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. He was only 25, 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a top pick for Cincinnati. He was like the 8th pick overall.
And
or something.
he did flash a little bit once in a while. He's
Wasn't he the one? He was the top 10 pick, wasn't he?
like yeah. Oh, I don't know if he was. Is he built like Darnell Mooney though?
Right.
He's a smaller receiver.
Right.
And Eddie Goldman once again is contemplating he might be retiring again.
Eddie Coleman, really?
The ex-Bear that retired during COVID, and then Atlanta picked him up this offseason, and then he might retire again. Now they're saying and it's personal stuff going on, so it's not. And so who knows, family stuff. If that's happening, I feel for the guy, I guess, because he actually was a good defensive player his rookie year. He was solid. Yeah.
No news about Devin Cook signing with the Jets.
That's the rumor. He's going there. He
visited there Friday, but there's nothing. Right.
Yeah. He's not in a hurry to sign. Why don't I want to go to training camp?
Right. Sony Michel, he retired.
Sony Michel retired.
5 years.
Yeah.
John Ross was the 9th pick overall.
He had one of the top 40 times.
Yep, 4.22.
Yeah. He did have some. I mean, he was decent. I mean, he wasn't. Never had top 9 numbers, but I mean, he was solid.
Yeah, but he had.
T. Higgins was there too with him for a minute, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, Chad Johnson might have been. No,
Chad Johnson.
He's one of those guys, though, I would think of as, like as a Packer fan or a Bear fan, you'd be like, you got a young quarterback. He's been around for 4 or 5 years. He's never got to really shine. It'd be one of those guys you add for nothing.
Yeah. Well,
but he does. I'm talking John Ross.
Yeah, he was
still.
the Chiefs, though, right? You said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think? There's way too much competition there, though. You think, but you never. There could be other problems with him. Maybe he doesn't have the speed.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just tired of trying.
But it's like one of those guys you just want to take a shot at.
That's
obviously he was a first round talent.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work, the NFL. So the point you want to work out and do all that stuff and get back.
Right.
Yeah, and maybe he's got a. I didn't look, but maybe he's got a degree in chemistry or something. You don't know.
Well, a top 9 pick in the last 4 years, he probably got pretty good money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So he's probably $20 million. He probably has if he laying around maybe 25.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'll look it up.
there you go.
There you go.
So anything else we've heard at all?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, the
strain.
calf. Luckily, they dodged a bullet.
That's perfect, though.
No
this guy
Achilles,
doesn't
nothing?
come back till
Yeah.
September.
Right.
You take it
Right.
easy.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
2 hours after that injury happened, there's people writing about who they should trade for. That the prognosis hasn't even been out yet.
When I saw the film, it looked like a calf to me.
Yeah.
It didn't look Achilles because he didn't grab because you grab.
You
could tell.
Achilles.
But that looked like the way he was running. He kept the way he hopped around,
Right.
and he grabbed right away. He grabbed for this. And I guess it could be Achilles because that does ball up sometimes.
Right.
But so that's good. Good for them. I mean, we never want a guy like that to go down.
No.
Because he is a face of the NFL. He's going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
So.
Well, last year, remember he had the appendectomy
Yeah.
in July,
Yeah.
so he missed.
I think he plans this stuff. He's a liar. He's a dirty liar, Joe Burrow.
He doesn't like training camp, does he?
No. Who does?
Right. So I guess Chase Claypool's been having a good camp.
They said. I mean, we'll see. He's actually working.
Right.
Because I mean,
He's talented.
every team has this, and I get it. But I guess Eberflus is. I'm surprised. It was worried me, but obviously it works. They like to. It's funny. I was watching back to action weekend, and they showed all these camps, and guys are dropping back, just throwing balls. Everybody's music playing, they show Bears camp. These dudes are on the ground hitting a bag and all this. They're like sweating, and I'm not saying other teams, but
Running the hill with Walter Payton out back.
Eberflus, they say, is a different animal. When I watched him at Hard Knocks one year when the Colts were on there, he was a defense coordinator, and he was they say he's a
No nonsense.
That's that hits. That he had that hits thing that stands HITS stands for something. If you don't do that, you're not on this team. And
Right.
I'm not saying it makes you good or bad, but it's just, and Claypool. And that's the thing. They did trade a pick from number 2. I get it. That was high and all that, but it made sense at the time.
Right.
But you know what? I'm fine with a team that's not afraid to say, we don't want you if you're not good enough.
Right.
We'll deal with it. I'm not going to keep you because we did this. That's what the New England Patriots did for years.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to, we you know what?
We're not gonna
we
cater
screwed
to-
up, so get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they told him this. You don't have carte blanche. That's same Pittsburgh.
Right.
We're not going to keep you around because you're Chase Claypool.
Right.
And there's competition now.
Right.
DJ Moore walked in, and Darnell Mooney's there,
Right.
and Phyllis Jones has been a good camp. They're saying.
Right.
So you have all these guys lined up that are like, and Komet improved a ton last year.
Right.
Yeah.
There's plenty of weapons on the offense now if the line plays well. So
Yeah.
this is, it's not like, well, guess what? Nobody's here. I get to play. It's not that anymore. And that's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
Competition makes you better. It does.
Ask Pete Carroll.
And I still, yeah.
Do you think there's like guys that could use like a
No,
almost
there
like a
isn't.
military type thing? Where a coach is like a strict coach, like
Yeah.
you're saying, like Eberflus.
And I don't think he's strict because he can't be strict in this, but there's a different idea and a different. But I see what you're saying.
But do you think there's just guys that don't respond unless they're being yelled at and told?
I don't think
That-
there's that coaching. There's that.
There isn't that.
there's not that Dick Parcells thing going around? The Holmgren even. Holmgren was a nut job too.
Yeah.
That was even Bo Walsh.
Right.
They were coaches. Nowadays it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. You think there's guys say I'm not saying
You're more
Claypool, but
psychiatrist. than-
yeah, exactly. Or this guy's standing out there and he's kind of just like, well, I'm going to half-ass it. And there's a guy right up his ass,
Yeah.
like you're not going to half-ass it. You're going to run lines and you're going to.
Right.
Well,
You know,
think
like we did in high school.
Yeah,
If you weren't hustling.
I agree.
and
Yep.
I think there is-
that would work for. I mean, some guys that probably are falling through the cracks
Yeah, a little bit.
that
so-
they need that because their mom's not there screaming at them like she was 4 years before.
Right. So I was listening to the Zach Lowe podcast, and they had Michael Malone on. So they talked about coaching the center. Fuck, why am I... For the Nuggets.
Jokic.
Jokic, right.
Nikki J.
Right. So, Malone's like, you want to coach these superstars and the players, like, we're still going to call them out. They're talking about film sessions and stuff and not being afraid to be like, hey, dickhead, fucking do your job.
Yeah.
So I think it happens to a point. But like I said, I think guys are more psychiatrists these days where it's like, Ed, like they're not screamers, like fucking give me 100 push-ups,
Yeah.
Even though, God damn it, all these fucking names in my head. The Packers head coach made the first day of training camp, he made the offense do push-ups because they got LaFleur, right? So because the defense was better.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I mean, that's how we grew up. You did. You played for Coach Davies. That guy was a psycho. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Sorry.
Yeah. and our baseball coach was the same.
Yeah.
I mean, we just ran.
Right.
We ain't gonna beat you on the field, but we'll beat you on the track.
Right. It's funny because I had Saint as a basketball coach, and I went to 3 basketball camps in summer, and I ran more in those basketball camps than I did.
Yeah, but Saint wasn't a big runner. He was more. To me, he was a fun guy. I played
fun.
baseball. I played baseball for him though.
Yeah.
It was different.
Right.
He's a basketball guy.
Yeah. I just thought it's funny. Like, my personal experience is different probably than anybody else, but I think Saint was a great preparer, I guess you would say. Like I said, I ran more in summer camps, not because, I don't know, like we did, it was just different. Like I didn't think, it was weird going from summer camp to Saint because I didn't think he really put like a lot of stuff on fundamentals, I guess is the best way to put it. So, but
For being a former college player, you're saying he didn't put the time in and the effort.
I didn't think we were prepared, but I thought we could be prepared better. Like I thought I was coached better in summer from different coaches.
Oh, I had the same experiences in baseball.
Right.
Our summer coaches were much better.
Right.
We had more success in high school because we just had more talent, and in the leagues were weak. We didn't play against a high quality of talent in high school.
We had high quality opponents, and again, I thought that we had talent that wasn't utilized the right way.
Okay.
So, but Yeah. So, but roundabout way, I think coaching is a lot different. It's more psychological than it is motivational. They're still motivated. You know what I mean? I just think they do it in different ways. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, we're all, 50 years old here, and we go back to our childhood, how it's different.
Right.
Where
But
it
guys
is
are still
different.
you can't measure heart. I mean, you still have those guys that want to try, want to be competitive. Jordan, Kobe, you're going to always have those guys where it's like they want to win no matter what.
Yeah, and they're going to be better than anybody.
Right.
Because they're
put the work
very talented, but then they put the work in.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, you talk about the coaching part when you said about that. I mean, we coached football for years, and one of the things that stood out to me, we had some we all know, but I won't give names. And first practice I had, hey, stop out. He had coached football before, and now we're not in pads or nothing. The first 2 days we couldn't be in pads. We just ran the kids through drills. And one thing we learned with that, the fastest kids that looked awesome and without pads were always scared to get tackled. It was weird.
Right.
It was after the first year, with the first 2 days, I would not even look at kids until they had pads on, because it was one of those things. Well, we're doing these just basic drills, running, hitting the bag, stuff like nothing, because it's no pads.
Right.
And the guy that used to coach came to help us that we all know. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna set up some plays today?" I go, "No." Set up plays. I don't know I don't know who these kids are. I have no idea. Well, you start running plays. I go, "No, I'm not gonna run plays." And that was the last time he was at my practice. Because the first week or two, we got pads on. We would block and tackle. That's all we would do.
Right.
Run, block, and tackle.
Yeah.
And we'd have parents question us, "Why don't you guys run plays?" I go, "Can't block and tackle. It don't matter what you can do in football.
Right.
If you can't block and tackle somebody,
Absolutely.
you ain't winning a football game."
Right.
And the one thing our team did every year, except we had one down year, was because we had whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But every year we were always a team. I never had the best talent because all the other coaches would scam and get their talent. But every time you played us, you were going to get your mouth smacked every game, because it didn't matter, and you were going to get tackled right and everything. You may beat us,
Right.
but when you left the game, you'd be like, okay, we were never offsides. We were never a team that jumped. Everything we did, we were organized.
Right.
Everything was organized.
Disciplined.
Everything was disciplined. We had discipline that was built from the beginning. And then when parents started to see that, they were like, oh, but you go back to that, the fundamentals of what win you stuff.
Right.
When teaching them a play does not make. I could have put in 500 plays.
Right.
But if you can't block or know what
if
it
you
doesn't
can't
matter.
execute.
There's so many things. I mean, the running thing for baseball. I mean, you probably they ran a lot, but you know what? That's conditioning. Obviously baseball, but there's things you do for them. Kids don't get it, but like you said, you didn't do a lot of running when you play basketball, which makes no sense to me at all. Because that's all you do in basketball.
No, our baseball team would outran them any day.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Basketball, you should be running every practice.
Absolutely.
At least something should be.
I'll give you a prime example. I think my junior year, I went to the Eau Claire and Kenny Anderson. It was the Kenny Anderson camp. Kenny Anderson's Division III basketball legend. So
Where'd he go?
What's that?
Where'd he go to college?
Kenny Anderson?
Yeah.
No, he was the basketball coach at
Eau
UW
Claire.
Eau Claire.
But did he go to Eau Claire?
I believe so. I mean, he was there for years.
It was the NBA Kenny Anderson?
No.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, I thought Kenny.
He went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, I got maybe
No,
I'm
no,
wrong.
no,
I know what you were
no.
thinking.
I was like,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Eau Claire was NAIA national champs. They went Division III. I mean, every year.
The Blue Golds.
The Blue Golds. Yeah, that was the Wisconsin State.
Besides Platteville was.
That was
That's
after with Bo.
Bo, yeah.
Right. So, one of the first couple days, his preaching was you practice how you play.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it was full balls out. You're playing defense up in the dude's ass. You're cutting.
What kind of camp was this?
It was great camp. It was.
Northwestern.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I remember coming back and then a lot of the practice we had with Saint, it was all right, we're going to run this play. And, I'm fucking hyper fucking kid. I'm fucking, playing defense and shit. He's like, no, let them run the play. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, just let them run the play. Don't just play off a little bit. I'm like, think they're gonna play off in the game? Yeah. So I got kicked out of the practice basically because I was talking back to the coach like that's stupid, like, you know,
because you were playing D.
Yeah, exactly. Because I question it, like, well, you think, you know, Horlick's just gonna fucking just play off because they know our play? Fuck no, like, play defense, you know. So
it's like, get out of that guy's ass and get out of my gym.
Yeah,
Exactly. He's like, over there.
Right.
Over there.
Yeah, get out. Which door am I supposed to use? I don't know.
That's how you got kicked out. It's like, you're pointing at 7 doors with one hand.
Yeah. Am I supposed to go to the weight room and lift? What the fuck?
It looks like a map of rivers.
Right.
Get out of here.
Right.
Is it the Mississippi Delta?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
So you're saying about Saint, he wasn't a Norman Dale, just like
No, great. Hoosiers is the greatest example of how it should be done.
right.
Exactly. And
We're not using a basketball. We're not shooting today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys shoot all day, every day.
Yeah. You
We're going to show you how to play basketball.
Shoot in your own time.
Yeah.
You learn how to shoot in your own time.
We'll beat you 33-19.
Yeah. Sorry to bring up like high school trauma and shit for NFL.
And Jimmy Chickwood had 30.
Yeah.
They ran that picket
Run the
fence.
picket fence.
Don't get caught watching the paint dry.
I'll make the shot, coach.
I'll make it, coach.
Did you ever see the outtakes where Chitwood goes, I'm going to catch this ball? He's talking to the other team. I'm going to catch this ball right over here in your face. I'm going to drain it.
It's the Larry Bird talk.
Yeah.
That's where Chitwood came from.
Right.
So that's NFL training camp.
I don't even know where we're at.
We digress.
We digress. So anything else you guys heard from the NFL this last few days? It just started, obviously. No big injuries, thankfully, yet. I mean, Jalen Ramsey will miss until December, and they just signed Eli Apple.
Yeah,
recently.
how about the jackalope fucking Aaron Rodgers taking that fucking $35 million pay cut? That fucking asshole. You know, fuck him. Seriously.
My wife's in the car. She goes, you hear Aaron Rodgers took a pay cut? I'm like, the Packers could have kept him if he would have done that.
You know, and he's fucking bitching about not getting all the fucking players he wanted.
I didn't look this up, but someone I always see on Facebook, we all know him. Rocky Terabaz, he's a huge Packer fan. He always writes stuff. And right after that happened, he was like, well, people are all freaked out about this because Rodgers, he goes, people don't understand that the Packers have 3 of the highest paid players of position right now. Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, and they have, would it be Rashid Gary maybe? No, he's not. We got a new contract, but I don't know if it's
right.
It might be Kenny Clark or
they have
one of those
Clark.
guys.
They have 3 guys highest paid, so they said it might have been a problem anyway. Even if Rodgers would have took that pay cut, they'd still be in trouble. Well, that's he knows all that stuff because people were arguing with him about that, and he's like, nope. And I didn't read all of it. I was like, whatever. So, but you can figure it out if you want to.
Right.
It's a way to figure stuff out in the NFL.
Sure. Right.
But Rodgers takes a pay cut, and I'm like, it's not even funny.
Right.
I mean, it's not funny.
He's been trolling them for the last 3 years, and this was the last fuck you to them, basically.
Oh yeah, it was, and he wanted
because he wants a player. He wants them to sign Cook
or Devontae.
Now you're kind of just rooting for him to fail there. I mean, you're
I'm
to
not
that point.
You know what?
But I'm getting to that point, where it's like, really, this guy, he's something else.
Right.
I mean, he's insane.
Right.
And he wants to win. I mean, obviously.
Well, he was spiteful to McCarthy because he was on the staff of the 49ers that didn't draft him. That wasn't McCarthy's fault.
That last year, if you go back and watch the last game of the year against Detroit, they played Detroit the last game of that year. If you watch Rodgers that last game, the fix was in, man.
Yeah.
He did not. He wanted Mike McCarthy gone. And it worked.
And he tried all that shit the last couple of years to get Gutekunst fired, and he's so spiteful.
Yeah, rumors out there. He said that. There's rumors out there the last couple months that came out where he said you need to fire him. I don't want to be here.
And then he'll lie right to you.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Right.
Who are your people?
Right.
Well, people are just making stuff up. Come on, buddy. The NFL, these insiders that say stuff that get it out, they want a reason to get out. People just go, I'm going to make up this story today.
Right. Same 25 women.
Yeah. So
it's the narrative.
It is what it is. I mean,
but it's crazy.
It's nuts. I mean, he could.
Well, we should we're going to have an interview with him in a couple of weeks.
I think I'm going to get a chance to interview him again.
I have questions.
It might work out. Right. It might work out. We'll get him on the phone.
You know what my first question is going to be? Talk to your dad yet?
Oh.
Well,
I mean, and to be honest, that's a very valid question because I know you're kind of making a joke about it there.
Right. It's terrible, but
he has.
He's estranged from his family.
He's estranged from his family. He's horrible in relationships with ladies and whatever. Right. And it's crazy. He's had some weird. He's a weird guy.
But
and there's rumors in Green Bay. I worked up in Green Bay like it had to be 5-6 years ago, and people were talking about him then how weird he was.
Right. Yeah, it's a California kid. I mean,
he does look like
This is
he's
before all that.
And last year I thought he looked. When I say it's going to sound weird, but he looked heavier to me last year.
Yeah.
If you see him now, he looks trimmed down and yeah.
He's trying to stuff it in their face.
It's a Julius Peppers thing, man. Julius Peppers was great for 3 years. Last year with the Bears, went to the Packers. I'm gonna get back in shape.
Right.
What? And he did, and he had another couple years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But players do that all the time.
Right.
So it's
motivated Aaron Rodgers is a dangerous Aaron Rodgers.
I say he's going to be MVP this year. If he's not, he'll be in the top 3,
Right.
unless he gets injured.
Right.
Which I'm not. I can't. I hate using that.
Hey,
'cause
you know what?
That's sometimes.
want-
Well, a guy who used to be on the show used to always use that as, they're going to get hurt, so I'm going to pick this team. Oh, that's not how you can be. I think Aaron Rodgers will be a top 3 finalist for the MVP.
I want him to play 99.99% of the snaps.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Garrett Wilson will be a top 5 receiver this year.
Yeah.
No question about it.
They'll probably be a top 10 offense.
Yep. And their defense is already top 10.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And they're still going to finish 3rd in that division.
I don't know. I think Buffalo and Miami are overrated. I really do.
I think Miami's overrated. Buffalo, not so much.
I think I keep going back at Miami's defense is really good though.
Right.
Okay, there's no question about that. But their offense at times.
Well, if there's an injury at quarterback,
Well, Tua, and that's the thing with Tua. But they do have. We figured out the backup they have, and it's a good backup. We looked it up.
It's Heineke, right?
No, it's
not White.
who's the guy who used to be at Jacoby Brissett?
Oh yeah.
I believe
yeah.
that's the
For
backup.
Browns.
So, and that's a good backup. That's solid. I mean,
great
that's-
backup.
Yeah.
But you forget about their head coach, the wild card.
Yeah, he's creepy.
He's out there.
He's the new coach, creepy.
He's a like spaceman.
Yeah,
Bill
Coach
Lee.
Tickle Monster.
He was there that night, wasn't he? I think it was him.
It might have been
I really do.
I do not
Well, you know what?
trust.
He was him. He had a headset on.
I don't have kids, but I wouldn't trust him with me in a dark room.
Only with a pair of mittens on, huh?
And with the Buffalo side of it, I think with this Diggs thing's interesting to me. I mean, he explained, well, it was because we weren't good in the red zone. It's not against my quarterback. I go, well, it's true. Yeah, against your quarterback. Can you say that? Because you weren't good in the red zone. He's got the ball.
Right. I don't mean to disrespect you, but
And
fuck you, yeah.
I think they lost a couple people for agency on defense.
Right.
I mean and now if they do somehow work a way to get Delvin Cook up there, then that changes the picture a little bit because they're now running back. Singletary's gone. They have James Cook, which good back.
Right.
He hasn't had a chance, and they have the other guy there still. I can't remember his name.
Right.
Zach Moss is still there, maybe, or he's gone too. That's the guy I couldn't figure out.
Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, is the
Yeah.
guy that we thought was gonna be great, and he never they
Right.
shared him. So I don't know with Buffalo. I just think the Jets were solid. They were a decent record last year
They just needed a quarterback.
with nothing on offense.
Right.
The offense was atrocious.
Right.
I mean, they were many of Bears teams for years. I mean, great defense, no offense. It was
Right.
like, yeah, this was eight wins. Woohoo! 7 wins. Woohoo! We can pick 12 again. Yay! This is fun.
Well, the thing about Buffalo too, you got to remember that Josh Allen's in a relationship with Haley Steinfeld. So,
he's got a lady.
He's kind of running the same thing that Rodgers was running for a while. You know, going out with Hollywood.
And I'm a huge Josh Allen believer.
Oh, yeah.
I like Josh Allen. I think that's the thing that division might have.
Now he's not focused.
Would you argue who's the other team in that division? New England? I guess Mac Jones would it be, but that with Rodgers and
the hottest
Josh
girlfriend,
Allen,
Mac Jones.
I never.
I'm
seen
sorry.
So Buffalo's got Latavius Murray and Damian Harris too.
Oh, Damian Harris is a good pick.
Right.
Murray's solid. He's
Murray's
older.
solid for like 6 games.
Murray's gonna be good, yeah. But I forgot Damian Harris can be a big part of their offense.
Yeah,
I like Damian Harris. He had a good
And he came over from New England, right?
Yeah. I like Damian Harris a lot. He's that guy that they're gonna share spots or whatever. He's a pass catching guy. That's what he is.
And talking about the Patriots, what about Zeke?
Yeah, Zeke went and visited them. Yeah.
I can't.
I don't see that working, but I've seen crazier, right?
He did. Well, never mind.
You know, it was weird. He was last in the NFL last year, I think, at a 3.9 per carry average over like 100 carries, which I think 3.9 is pretty good.
I would think so.
If you get 3.9 a carry, that's
high. Almost 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's high.
But
they would never throw the ball.
He was last in the league. He was because they were showing Kamara and Tony Pollard.
Right.
It was crazy. I was like, how can that be last in the league? I mean, but I guess you take all the backs that like Dalvin Cook and stuff, probably average like 4.5. I mean, you're talking 3.9, where the next guy might be 4, 4.1, 4.2. So he could be last right there. I didn't see it. Oh, it just changed. It just changed.
Damn it.
So NFL, anything else about the NFL? We'll talk a lot about the NFL next week, obviously, but we'll have a draft show, talk about fantasy draft and all that. So that's coming up. But anything else you guys can think of? About the Packers? Anything you've heard about the Packers?
Just
Lions? Ed Packers?
Alexander's been looking really good. Offensive line's been kind of like not goofy, but they've been playing like second stringers with the first string, which I think is just to get those guys reps. And Love's been like a lot of the players have just been liking how he's been handling himself. So I listened to a daily Packer podcast, and obviously it's going to be interesting. I think they're going to be better than people think because of their defense, and especially if they get what's his name from Michigan back sooner than later as a pass rush.
Gary.
I think people are overlooking their defense. I mean, they're bringing pretty much everyone back. Gary should be healthy, and then basically, like, the weakness is just going to be safety. So hopefully, there's someone that gets cut, and the Packers can bring them in. So, and I still think they need. I think that's going to be their biggest mistake is not bringing in a veteran receiver that's like a safety valve. Not.
Now you're talking something you can look for,
Right. Exactly.
and not a star, just someone that is like
good locker room guy that runs routes.
Who's the guy that went back to? He'd be a perfect example. The guy that went back to Detroit from Jacksonville, that was there before in Detroit.
Jones.
Zay Jones?
No. He just, you know what I'm talking about.
I know
he was a Lion, went to Jacksonville, maybe someone else. He was at Jacksonville, now he came back to the Lions this year.
Yeah, I know.
He'd be the exact guy that you're talking about.
Right. Even Allen Robinson.
And he had a minute in it for a while. He was like always. He was drafted in fantasy leagues in the third, fourth round. He was a pretty good receiver.
Right.
Yeah. What was his name? And he played somewhere else before the Lions, right?
Right.
Why don't you look up the Lions roster, Willie?
See, you guys, I can see him too. 15 he was, or something. Number 15 I thought he was, or something like that. That's the kind of receiver I think you're talking about, Tim. Someone like that.
Right.
Like, I mean, Hopkins would have been great, but if you're going to go get just a guy to put on your team that's a veteran presence that is there for you, I think he would have been the guy. He went back to the Lions, right? Am I wrong about that?
I think you're right. I'm trying to find it.
Number 15, maybe? I don't know.
Not Marvin Jones.
Yes.
Yep.
Marvin Jones would be the guy. Is that what you said?
I said Jones.
No.
You said Zay Jones.
No, I said
I said-
Jones.
You said Jones.
I said
he
Zay
said
Jones.
Zay then. Yeah. Marvin Jones Jr. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't say Junior.
Yeah. No. You didn't say Marvin either.
No, I
So it could
didn't.
be-
I knew it was Jones.
Yeah, but Marvin Jones would be a good, perfect guy, I think, to put in that situation.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's in Detroit,
Right.
because I think it's good for them to add that with on St. Brown and Jameis Williams being out the first few weeks. It helps them steady the
he's
grind.
still going to be a stud.
And then, when they all come back, it's going to be nice for that offense to have the 3 receivers to use in that core. So,
how about some real quick NCAA football? Barstool Sports is reporting that the Big Ten will be adding 4 schools this week.
This week?
Oregon, Washington, Clemson, and Florida State.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson's a research school too,
ACC.
but I didn't know Florida State could qualify even for the
Big
Ten.
I know. Yeah.
Oregon's Oregon's for
Oregon
sure.
and Washington will qualify because part of that whatever like
The Pac-10 was also it's very similar to the Big Ten the way it's set up. You have to have certain things,
right.
Education wise.
Right. I mean, it's been rumored that ACC was going to disband anyway. So I mean,
Florida State's a weird one.
I wonder if Florida State has like a huge like marine biology thing and all that.
It could. I mean, there's
Because Tallahassee is.
Tallahassee isn't on the water. Tallahassee's like
it's just inland. It's not far.
right.
It's like 20 miles.
It's
or
north.
Oh, so yeah.
It's northwest Florida.
something. Yeah, it's up on the Panhandle.
So they got it covered. They got the Northeast. They got the
that's
Southeast.
their plan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they
Right.
want to be
That's gotta
every
be-
market
Well,
they can be.
do
in.
they have? Who else? Did they get USC too? Or
USC and
UCLA,
UCLA.
UCLA.
so they got. Yeah, you're right. How many teams is that now? 20?
It'll be 16, I think. Right.
No.
They got
It'll
to
be 18.
Yeah, 18 or 20. I think
Right.
20 might be
get
right.
rid of Rutgers.
Yeah.
And Michigan.
What? What the hell?
You got to be out of cotton picking mind.
Right. And it's significant that Colorado joined the Big 12 because,
Yeah.
I think the Pac-12 is done.
Yeah.
They're talking like Arizona State. Basically the rest of the Pac-12 going to the Big 12. So Utah, Arizona State, and then if Oregon and Washington don't go,
Yeah.
What does that mean for like Notre Dame? You know how they would play the ACC schedule for football?
Oh,
Right.
yeah. I will bring up what I was watching. I was watching that yesterday. I got time to sit down for a minute and watch a little bit of going on the camps, and they actually had caught. I did catch Green Bay's camp and the Bears. They must have been doing I don't know how they did it. It was weird because I watched like 4 camps I saw the Raiders on there. But the Packers camp, they were talking about who they were talking about the Packers. I cannot remember who they were talking about. I don't know. I can't remember the player they were talking about.
Receiver?
I don't know.
They're really high in Musgrave, the tight end.
They didn't talk about him.
Right.
I can't remember who they were talking about because they talked about maybe it's a Jordan Love thing that he's just how he's handling it. Maybe it was that. Maybe that was the same thing I saw because I don't think it was Love though. I don't think they really talked about him at all. I don't know, and it wasn't Aaron Jones. Oh, it was kind of cool. I did see thinking about that AJ Dillon. See that the other day? People were taking the tour of Lambeau Field, and they were doing pictures and back, and he heard him, so he walked out. And the people were looking at him like they didn't know who he was. They were like, he's wearing his uniform, 28. They're all looking at him. Someone goes,
That's a Packer fan.
A little kid goes, who are you? It was a little kid. It was hilarious. But the girls are all like just staring at him like, who is this guy with the uniform? And he walked out with these people and there was like a couple like adults standing there. He looked like a giant next to them. Right. And I don't think he's that tall. I think
he's thick,
but
though.
he looked
his legs are
well.
huge.
He was wearing his pads and everything too, but he looked tall. I don't think he's that tall. I don't think he's more than 6 foot. He might be 6'2".
Huge.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I mean, he's thick.
I don't think he's going to leave Green Bay. We were talking about that earlier. He's got a place like in Bailey's Harbor. He loves it there.
He wants to be the.
I mean, he might leave for a few years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
Did I ever tell you a story about like little kids like that when my nephew Joey was playing hockey and Amon Green showed up?
Yeah.
And Joey went up and asked him. It's like, so what hockey team did you play for? just trolling them,
Wow.
Just like what was it Bob asking?
Oh, Lucas Bryant, you're a Cubs fan? And then the Bear camp, they did talk about DJ Moore, and they said the one thing they talked about him is that he looks sweet, and that's good. That's a plus. They didn't trade a first-round pick,
right,
or number 1 pick. He said he looks every the part of a number 1 receiver. They said when he walks on the field, you can tell
he's that guy.
He is the best guy on the offense. He is the best player you're gonna. I mean,
unique guys
and they said that. They said it's gonna, and that's. The Claypool thing, I didn't think of that. They did say they did bring up Claypool, and they said, when he came to the league, he dubbed himself, and it was Steve Smith's on there. Steve Smith's funny because he kind of just talks like he's talking to his buddies.
Right.
When he's on there, he's like on the show, and he's talking to his buddies, and they said that it was funny. Oh, Chase Cooper comes on, and he dubbed himself Mapletron because he's from Canada and all this, and blah, blah, blah. Steve Smith goes, man, he's just another guy. I was like, that's funny. He goes, I'm not dogging the guy. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that, you know what? He has to prove himself. He got run out. That's why he's not in Pittsburgh. They wouldn't have traded him if he was, Chicago's taking a chance on him. But he said that he has to prove himself because
he was the number 1 receiver that one year.
And he said they've got receivers here, like we were talking. Nothing's guaranteed, and it shouldn't be.
Now with Mooney, I mean, Mooney's a lot better than everybody thinks.
Yeah, when he was hurt.
Beat up
he was hurt.
last year,
He had a bad ankle. So, and they did bring up a good point. They said a lot. I guess Fields and Moore have become very good friends, and they hang out a lot. And it's weird because he said they didn't never play together anywhere. They never worked out. So it's the first time they met. They're always with each other. They have little hand signals down. And Steve Smith made a great point though, and I agree with this. He said that's what you need, but when he's not open, then it's got to be figured out, and that's true, and that's what good. Hopefully, this is what they're ironing out. But
because you see those young quarterbacks that just go to the one guy.
But like Tim said, this is the guy that's going to help Justin Fields. If he's going to get better, this guy will. Right. This is the guy that's going to help him.
It's better if your one guy is DJ
guy.
Moore and not
Mooney. I'm not being funny. It's not Mooney, or it's not. It's a guy that you can go.
Yeah, who was it a couple years ago? And it was even Allen Robinson. He
won that one.
He didn't want to be out there.
Tim, you remember that game when Justin Fields pointed to go block, and Allen Robinson goes,
No.
I'm cool with that. Right then and there, I would have cut him after that game. I'm like, you're done.
Yeah, you're putting our quarterback in jeopardy.
This rookie quarterback is trying to be a leader and say, get that guy from me. Just all you do is pick him.
Right.
Just stand in front of him. And the guy made a tackle then. I'm like, oh my God. And the Bears wouldn't have won the game, but it's not the point.
No.
The point is that
You can't let your future quarterback get killed out
you know
there
what?
because guys aren't listening.
And not a picking him, but Aaron Rodgers did that. Aaron Rodgers probably berated the guy, and I would agree with it. You should, because he should do his job.
Peyton Manning would have.
Peyton Manning has a run though.
He would have just pointed, get off the field.
Get back in the porta potty.
And that is a problem with. I've said this before. If you don't have that guy that scares everybody else out there, you need a team leader. And the Patriots had Brady and Belichick, where they had two guys. Mm-hmm. You ain't talking back to either one of those. And if they tell you what to do, you go do it, or you're gonna be gone. When
I was watching the Raider one, the one thing I got from the Raider thing too, and I'll real quick, and we'll talk about baseball real quick, then and we'll take a break. The Raiders, I do think this may, and I believe in this right now because being comfortable is a big thing in the NFL, and I think Josh McDaniel getting Jimmy G is going to make them better, or he loses his job. Plain and simple. This is Josh McDaniel's last chance to keep a job in the NFL as a head coach, I believe. I agree with that. With Jimmy Garoppolo, he's been, and I think it's going to be good for them. Right. I don't know if they can win that. They're not going to win that division just with the Chiefs and the Chargers. It's going to be tough. But I think they're going to be a team that's going to give people trouble because Jimmy G's going to make that offense. I don't think Derek Carr's. I think Derek Carr's a good quarterback. I don't think he's bad at all. He's got a bad rap too. But I don't think Josh McDaniel and him saw eye to eye when they didn't, and it was a big mistake. Once again, a coach not coaching to the strengths of the quarterback he has. Right. That's what he did.
Who was his offensive coordinator? Nathaniel Hawthorne?
No, it was Josh McDaniel. But I know what you're saying, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? You're not coaching the strengths of the guy. You're trying to coach him like he's Jimmy G, and it's the Raiders. Or it's the Patriots. And with no Josh Jacobs now. So MLB real quick. Some trades happen. You guys remember some of the trades? Throw them out.
Giolito went to the Angels.
Right. Lance Lynn went to the Dodgers.
Yeah, pretty much every White Sox went somewhere.
To the Dodgers. Joe Kelly, Dodgers also?
I think
he did, yeah.
He was an ex-Dodger already.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Tim Anderson hit his first home run and cried.
Yeah, nice. Aww. Did he?
Yeah.
He cried.
Around the base, he grabbed his face. It's like he won, like he was just crowned Miss America. And he could be because it could happen now.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, but it was insane. He's crying. Your team's 12 games, and you're crying because you hit a home run.
I think he was crying because he's like, holy shit, I just raised my value. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Well, he's one that should get traded, I think. Yeah. I mean, obviously.
So we talked about the Rangers, Scherzer.
Yeah,
we already talked about that.
No, we didn't talk about Scherzer. We talked about it before the show.
Jordan Hicks went to the Blue Jays.
Hard thrower.
Oh, yeah, he throws. We've seen him before. Mm-hmm. Man, he throws hard.
And he's young, too.
He doesn't have much movement on his pitch, but still.
It's a weird trade because he's a kind of young guy with the live arm that you think you keep a guy like that around, but value. I don't know what the value they got for him, too. I have no idea.
And the Rangers got Montgomery from the Cardinals, so I think he's a lefty, right?
And we mentioned C.J. Cron and Grichuk going to the Angels to help add to what they already grabbed in Giolito.
Right. The Cubs farm system was ranked third of all of major league teams, so that's a good sign.
They keep winning championships down in the low levels, right. So I mean that doesn't really mean, but you got to have some talent to do that,
right?
And if I could replay the show from 4 weeks ago, we'd all be laughing because I know we all said the Cubs are selling. Yeah. And they are buyers now.
Yeah.
They're not getting rid of Bellinger. Stroman's saying, I think you're going to see Bellinger get an extension pretty quick here.
I would hope so.
I really do because he is. We talked about this last night. I think sitting around. The unknown is scary in sports. Right. You have a known commodity here right now, and I don't know if he could do what he's doing now. It's not. These aren't MVP numbers he's got right now.
No.
But they're good Major League Baseball playing numbers right now.
They're better than
Rizzo, Bryant,
after
Baez.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Not to be. I'm not. And Schwarber too.
Right.
Yeah.
And he wants to be here. That's the whole thing. Like he said, he wants to stay in Chicago. So.
Yeah. And they got a good core.
Right.
Like I said.
Keep the core together.
No, I say that.
Word of the day.
Every good screaming, everybody. Oh, shit. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right. Right. Hold on.
Good screaming, everybody. You're all really good at that.
Right.
Rick's happy now.
Yeah. So I think the Cubs won 8 in a row. They lost today, 3-0. But hey, won 3 out of 4 against the Cardinals. They got a big week this week. I wish trade deadline was a week later because they've got 4 against the Reds and 3 against the Braves this week. I mean, being Cubs fans, I'm saying this won't surprise you. They could lose 7 in a row. It could happen.
Right. I mean, if they have 7 games.
4 and 3, I'm hoping for. 3 and 4 will be but 4 and 3, they got to be right around there, if not more.
4 and 3, 5 and 2 would be great.
Yeah.
4 and 3 would be expected, I think. Yeah.
And today Hendricks actually pitched really well. He threw like 40 pitch in the first 2 innings.
Right.
Gave up 3 runs, and then he was lights out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He pitched really well, so hopefully he can. He's been struggling like that the last couple of years, though. He has those innings where he just gets lit up, and it's because obviously he's a spot pitcher. If he misses a spot, he's gonna get.
His problem is he can't give up. If he gives up any walks or a couple weak hits, one of these guys is going to hit him hard eventually.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So the Cubs are in 3rd place. Reds are in 1st.
Yeah, Jay said
game ahead of
who's the
Brewers.
closer in Pittsburgh?
Bednar.
Jay said they're looking at trying to trade for him, supposedly.
Who is the Cubs?
Yeah.
That'd be a good trade for them.
That's what he said.
He'd match up good with them.
He saw somewhere, so
What would you give up?
They don't have some minor leaguer. It could be like for something like that. I don't know what his contract is. How many more years?
give Matt Mervis.
It'll be like Alcantara or one.
'Cause if you're
or Ed Howard. It's gonna be a shortstop from the minors.
If you're keeping Bellinger, you don't need the first baseman in your farm system, Matt Mervis, anymore. He can
No, that's true. Yeah. Why not?
because I think next year I heard that it's a club option for both. It's a club and a player option for Bellinger. So I don't know how that works.
Okay.
Do they both have to say yes, or one can say we want to keep you, you have to stay? I don't know how that works. I don't know how the mutual option works. I have no idea. I mean, you think a mutual option would be just a one-way option. Well, a player would just have the option because I'm sure. Well, no, I don't know how that works.
I don't know how
what
it
the
works
difference
either.
is a mutual option to a player. I don't know.
I mean, the Marlins are looking at adding Gleyber Torres right now for the Yankees.
Okay.
So I don't know what the Yankees are. Like you said, Yankees can't give up anything except established players. Their farm system's pretty weak.
Yeah. You said the Cubs were 3rd, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're only 4 games back
But they're third in the farm system too.
in the farm system.
Wow.
So a mutual option is an optional year at the end of the contract. In order for the optional year to become guaranteed, both parties must agree to exercise the option. Mutual options are very rarely exercised.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Well, you think it would just be a player option because I guess if a player says yes, they want to do it where I guess it makes sense to have a mutual. But yeah, who's going to do that ever?
Yeah, usually like the team option is like it's $5 million. Us will give you $1 million to buy you out.
Yeah.
So
This one's got a chance though because both parties are happy with what they got. So
I think I agree. I like Bellinger.
I do too.
I always have. Even when he was, he struck out. I liked him when he got here. I was like, I do like him, and
right.
I mean,
He's talented.
I was watching highlights when he played Little League. They were showing that, and he just hit the hell out of the ball.
How are you Tigers doing? What are they doing?
They're sucking, but
No, they're in 3rd place.
Are they?
I know, but they're
6.5 out only behind the 54 and 53 Twins.
Twins,
The
yeah.
Cubs would be in 1st place in that division.
I mean, they're doing all right there. I think AJ Hinch is still the guy for them, and the good thing about thinking about the Tigers there, Miggy was in Miami this week, playing there, and he got a hit, and they pulled him out of the game for a runner, and so he get the standing ovation. So it was really nice. So I wonder what they gave him for retirement.
A rocking chair
Yeah.
creator.
they gave him
He's probably
Marlin.
54
They
years
gave
old.
him a panini press for Cubans.
Cubans.
So the Angels are only 5 games back. They're all in. They're all in, and they're playing a division with the Astros and the Rangers.
Oh, they must be in the wild card lead though,
Wild
or
card.
up there. They got to be. I've got the wild card plays in that for them for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
It better.
right now the wild card. I don't know how many wild cards are there.
17.
2 get in. No, 2 get
So
in.
it's
Right,
the
2
Red-
get in.
I think so. Yeah,
It's the Red Sox, the Yankees, then the Angels, Mariners,
many-
and Guardians. They're all pretty tight, right?
Okay, that's what
They're
playing.
all within a couple games.
Okay.
Wait. Fucking Baltimore's in first place.
Oh yeah.
They're playing
Is
well
it fucking
too.
1983?
Yeah, Ripken's having a good year.
Yeah.
They're ahead of the Rays. I mean, they got less wins, but they're ahead of the Rays right now.
Brady Anderson must be fucking killing the ball.
Homer again to lead off the game today.
Hey, that Boog Powell guy is pretty good.
Brooks Robinson.
Hey, wasn't the AL Central at the All-Star break? None of the teams were over 500.
And they're still barely over 500.
Right. I want to say that none of the teams, and it was the first time that's happened since like 2007.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It might have been them because their division is pretty weak.
Right.
Well, and then look at the National League wild card. The Cubs are only 2.5 back on wild card on the Diamondbacks and the Phillies. The Diamondbacks have been struggling. I mean,
So are the Phillies.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why the Cubs are gonna. They're gonna stick.
I know in
around.
fantasy I have Trey Turner, who I thought was going to be one of the top, 10 players. He's on my bench behind two other shortstops right
Is that
now.
right? Because of all of his errors.
He's just not. He's not stealing a lot of bases either. He's not putting up numbers.
God, how the fuck do the Giants keep fucking coming back every year and playing well?
You got me.
It's in the water.
Man.
That Bay water will do it to you.
Oh no! So the wild cards, the Giants, the Brewers, and the Marlins right now. Okay, I see what you. Yeah,
The Giants. Yeah, they're always in it.
the Marlins are looking at adding players. I mean, and they've got tons of talent pitching wise in the minors to give up. They've got quite a few guys, so they can go out and get talent if they want.
Hey, Oakland's only 26 games back of the wild card.
That's it.
Wow. Are they eliminated yet? Getting close to being eliminated. It's getting close.
How would you like to be, like you said, in the AL Central? The Twins, the Guardians at pretty much 500. The Royals are 22 games back right now.
Yeah.
That's how bad they are. That is horrible. In a horrible. I mean, we could probably put enough guys together to win 32 games by now.
We gotta have to find pitching.
We'd have to maybe one more pitcher. Holy cow!
Well, Rick could throw 85. So. Pew 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 pew.